Hello everyone, this is Rutvik from Hindustan Times, and joining us today from Paris is a very special guest, Indian tennis ace Rohan Bopanna. Bopanna, of course, entered the quarterfinals of the US Open as well as the Italian Open a few weeks later with his Canadian partner Denis Shapovalov, and is now gearing up for the French Open, which starts this weekend. He, of course, won French Open in 2017, and it's a pleasure to have you with us, Rohan. First up, thank you so much for doing this and sparing the time with us. First up, all settled in Paris from one bubble to another. How's it been so far?
Hi, Ritvik. First of all, thank you so much, for having me on this chat. Well, I guess this is the new normal, and it's easier now, for everyone to do this. But yeah, really happy to have tournaments back on the calendar. To be honest, nothing like competing. I think that is something for sure. I missed these 5 months when I was at home. So, good to be back in that sense. And of course, I think the bubble life is right now the current and the best scenario to be in, to keep everyone safe as much as they can and to have these events. I think these are the precautions tournaments have to take, players have to, respect, and this is the only option. I know it can be difficult at times, because you're so used to being in these great cities. You have your, favorite areas to go to, favorite restaurants to be in. You have a lot of friends in, the city. So yeah, it is absolutely different. I'll definitely say the toughest part has been not having anybody come and watch matches, and with that, I think more than the bubble and everything, I think that I think it's still getting used to that. Has been the toughest challenge for sure, for me at least.
Right. We'll talk about the bubble life a bit later, but first up, just looking back at the couple of tournaments where you entered the quarters. US Open, you guys take out the French Open champions. Rome, you take out the top seeds. Are you kind of satisfied with these two? Of course, US Open was your first Grand Slam quarterfinal entry in, I think, 2 years. So satisfied with how you've done after that slow start in the Western and Southern Open, the last two tournaments? Satisfied?
No, I definitely, happy to be winning matches again, no doubt. I think playing with Denis now, it's been a year and a half. We've had some good wins over top teams, starting from last year, Indian Wells itself. We played most of the top teams. We had close matches, whether we lost a couple, but having said that, definitely, good to be back in a quarterfinal of a Grand Slam. We had a close match against Takao and Jules, losing 5-7, 5-7 in that match. I think they're an experienced team, been playing for at least 7-8 years together. But having looking at all the scenarios, being at where we are, especially even though in Cincinnati we lost first round, we played a good match against Horacio Zeballos and Marcel Granollers. They're again a very, very strong team. That was a little surprise for me that after 5 months I was still able to play some good tennis. I thought I will definitely be a little more rusty. But I think in a way of being in that same venue, practicing constantly, for 2 weeks and before getting into a slam, I think that helped. And Denis was playing exceptional tennis. His singles also, he was really fired up and playing, brilliant tennis. And that helps, overall, the camaraderie also was great. We got to spend a lot more time together thanks to the bubble also. You're always there in the same hotel pretty much, hanging out, whether it is at breakfast or dinner or whatever it may be. And, I was easy to go and watch his matches. I didn't have to really ask the tournament or the player, hey, do you have any extra tickets left to watch these matches? I could go whenever sit and watch. And I think that in a way was nice, to watch some good tennis overall. But happy to be, playing, like I said, and doing well also in the tournaments.
You touched upon this. Personally, are you kind of surprised with how quickly you've hit your straps after all these months of, being in a lockdown and just having a couple of weeks of training under your belt? Surprised at how quickly personally you've, hit the road running?
I think, Rijit, the main part for me was getting that rest for my body, especially. That was one of the key, I think, factor. Having so many months of, normally you're constantly on the road, traveling, playing. If you have a week off, even that week off, you're flying back to India, then I'm flying to another tournament. It's so much going on, and you hardly get any rest as such. I think so. This is the first time after I don't know how long, I've had a good amount of rest to make the body recover. And on top of that, the last 2 months before coming to the US, I started doing this Iyengar yoga in Bangalore with this couple, Jaya and Mohan, who have a center called the Practice Room. And that, Ritwik, has really made a big difference, especially for my knees. I've had bad knees now for a long time. I have patella arthritis on my patella. So, but it's extremely painful. I went to a doctor who helped me out in December last year to give it some PRP injections. And this yoga has also definitely helped, in the skeleton change of my, body, getting me my own body strength back. And that, I think, mentally, I was feeling a lot stronger on court. And that, I think, transformed, into be playing, also good tennis. Otherwise, I was constantly there playing, but yes, having niggles here and there. Every evening after a match, my physio Gaurang and me, we would do everything possible to he would do everything possible to get me, back on that court recovery. My coach, Scott, we used to do drills, trying to, not get me pushing too much to where I was hurting. And suddenly, even they see the difference. They see the difference in the way I'm moving, the way I'm playing. And me also, when I'm waking up, there's I don't feel, that kind of tension in my body. And I think that is what has, the biggest difference, by far.
Right, great. And does also having a partner who's kind of now started to find his feet really quickly in singles, right? He's broken in the top 10. He started going deeper into tournaments in singles as well. So is that kind of a double-edged sword for you, wherein the deeper he goes, kind of maybe it affects his, physical strength coming into doubles matches, or is it perhaps adds to his confidence in playing doubles as well? So how do you kind of look at it with Shapovalov finding his own feet?
I think it just, adds a lot, to the player's confidence. At 21, the guy is extremely fit, extremely quick. And the main thing is, I think he enjoys playing doubles. He's fully committed, and that's such a wonderful thing to see. And I think he also realizes that it's also helping his singles game. In many ways, because if you see the last few matches he's been playing aggressive tennis, coming to the net a lot. That, and doubles helps that, no matter what. And I think the most important thing is that we just enjoy ourselves playing out there. I think that is the key. Doubles has always been that you have to have good camaraderie. Somehow, somewhere down the line, I have a honest friendship with somebody who's 19 years younger than me, and it's nice to see such a young player be so mature and playing great tennis on the tennis court. And like you said, being top 10 for him, I think is exceptional. And going into Rome, I think he was feeling confident after US, and he was playing some great tennis. So looking forward to playing a couple more tournaments with him before we finish the year.
Wonderful. And is that switch from like hard courts to clay? It's a very quick turnaround, isn't it? It's you're not kind of used to that, and also it's usually the other way around at this time of the year where you switch from clay to hard. So is that a bit challenging for you personally and as a pair? That quick turnaround?
I mean, playing on the clay definitely was always a challenge. No doubt. Over the years, I've tried to adapt my game a little differently on playing on the clay. But yes, you're right. Coming from hard to clay was the first time ever doing something like that. But I was able to, this time adapt much better, much faster. And like I said, I mean, I have learned or taught myself to really understand the surface a lot better on how to play it. So that has, I think, helped me on the surface. I mean, if you look back, I've had some great results on the clay, and I've enjoyed playing on the clay. So I think right now, if you ask me, it is definitely one of my good surfaces to play at. Yeah.
Right. Those knees also, it must be jammed because of clay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I mean, physically I feel stronger, so that automatically my mind is also more relaxed and, makes you, just play better tennis.
Right, great. Now, just talking about the bubble life, because obviously you've kind of experienced 3 different bubble lives in what, a month now. You've been in New York, you've been in Rome, and now you're in Paris. How different is each one from one another in terms of just the kind of stuff that you can do, you can't do, in terms of protocols, in terms of comfort and everything? How has your experience in each 3 different bubbles been?
The biggest difference in all the 3 is the level of the nose swab. So some nose swabs are tolerable, some are extremely difficult. So that is the biggest challenge, for I think all of us. The bubble life in itself is pretty similar. You can't really step out of the bubble. You have to stay in the hotels. Of course, the hotels have been different all over the city. I mean, in the US, we were all the players were in one hotel. In the Marriott in Rome, the ATP players were different. The WTA players are different. Here in Paris, they have the top 60 players in another hotel. The players, say top 60 singles players in another hotel. The guys who are ranked below 60, they have another hotel. So, I mean, to be honest, the hotels in, Rome was by far the best. That was a fantastic hotel. We had a great view of the city. We had a beautiful pool also there, but unfortunately, we could not use any of them or go to the city. We can't, so there were designated areas for players to really go to. And, I think players coming into the tournament already know that, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, different kind of bubbles, but at the end of the day, similar rules. So I think that way it keeps the good structure also.
Right, but could you not head out even for like a coffee or something in Rome or something? Or is it only after the tournament ends that you can finally head out and probably go to the city?
Very, very simple, Rutvik. If you're out of the bubble, you're out of the tournament. So you choose whether you want, is that coffee more important or the tournament? You choose.
Simple choice, yeah. Right. Right. But we saw you playing some mini golf, in the US Open, and there are a lot of stuff to do there at the Arthur Ashe, at the Flushing Meadows Arena.
Talking about coffee, I can show you. This is my...
Oh, your coffee is already there. Wow.
Right here.
Great. So you don't need to head out.
I don't need to head out. I mean, all I can say is I can ask somebody to just get me some, grounded beans, and that's perfectly enough.
Wonderful. Perfect. So you're sorted in the bubble life as well. Great. No, so talking about, we saw you playing some mini golf in New York, and there are a lot of stuff to do there, I suppose, from the outside. So how has that been? How have you found ways to kind of kill time and entertain yourselves in each of the bubbles?
I think in the US Open, they've done a fantastic job in terms of the fan zone. They had made it fully a recreational area for players to relax, to have some fun, games. Whether, like you said, it's mini golf or pool tables or, whatever it may be. It was just something to unwind. the amount of time you were going to be there, because if you were going to play Cincinnati, you had, and US Open, it was minimum 3 weeks. So I mean, they had, I think, really done it nicely. They had different areas set up for food where you could just scan and order food and they would bring it to you. So in a way, they'd done it up extremely well, and it was a nice setup. In Paris, I don't know as yet, since I'm still quarantining this 24 hours. When I go, this evening, I'll know more on how the setup is.
Right. And mentally, does it help that you kind of get used to it once you go deeper into the bubble? Like, you now spend more than a month in different bubbles. So does it get better, or does it like get more challenging in a way that, okay, now I really need to get out? It's been more than a month.
I think, when you're playing, it's easy because you already have a routine. Everything is set up. You know what time your matches, what time your warm-ups are, and everything. So the day goes much faster. No doubt. I mean, obviously, when you lose early and you just are waiting around, there's a lot more time there. But having said that, I was doing a few online courses, watching some movies, of course, on Netflix. So, trying to do something, and, luckily my wife and I, after we had a daughter, now, and she's growing, I'm constantly every day, video calling her. So I'm chatting with her all the time. At least this way I can get to see what she's up to, which is nice, being away from home. So, unfortunately, I would have loved to have gone home, and come back in between Rome and Paris. But I think there's a lot more restrictions, not only to come to India, but I think if there was no quarantine in India, but coming from India back to Europe was going to be difficult. So I think at the moment I'm, doing the video calls and, chatting with the family.
Wonderful. Can't wait to get back home now, be with family again. I think after Paris is when you plan to come back?
Well, it all depends, on how the situation is, whether, again, like I said, I mean, depends whether India, I can fly back to tournaments after that, because at the moment the calendar is all the way up to November. They even have a tournament in Russia, in St. Petersburg. So, and it mainly depends on how Denis and me do here in Roland Garros also, at the end of the day. So I think you're just going to play it by ear and see, how it goes.
Right. Final couple of questions, Rohan. Earlier you mentioned that kind of not having crowds around is kind of the weird part about all this. French Open, I believe, is planning to have a limited number of fans. Excited about that, or is it kind of players apprehensive about fans being there and kind of that entire bubble being at risk? How do you look at fans turning up for tournament?
Rutik, if you're talking to Rafa Nadal and asking that question, then maybe, because the fans are only 1,000 fans in the center court. They're not allowed anywhere else. So it's still the same thing for when I'm playing my matches in the other courts. There's no fans. It's going to be the same thing. But I think they're again taking a lot of precautions. Like I said, you can enter and go straight to the center court. I don't think they're allowing them to walk around the stadium also anywhere. So I think it's going to be, pretty interesting. And all the tournaments are trying to find the best solution. I think, that is the key.
Right, perfect. And finally, expectations from the French Open. Obviously, you've had 2 solid tournaments coming into it. So the form is there, the confidence is there. And then you have a partner who's just broken into the top 10 in singles. So upbeat, feeling good about your chances at Roland Garros?
Absolutely feeling good. I mean, coming into, this tournament, playing a lot of matches, but having said that, there are extremely good, teams out there who are going to be tough, to play, and I think if we play to our potential, we definitely have a great chance in going deep into the tournament and maybe even winning the tournament. So, so I think that is a good thing, the way I'm confident with the way I'm playing. So, looking forward to carrying that, here this week as well.
Right. Wonderful. Rohan, thanks so much for your time. Wonderful chatting with you as always. Stay safe and go well in Paris.
Thanks so much, Hrithik. Most importantly, you're in Mumbai, so definitely stay safe. And enjoy, being at home.
Thank you. And you enjoy the bubble and your coffee.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Rohan. Bye.